Thank you so much, Santini Sana. My name, as she has said, is Purity Ngina. I'm a teacher, maths chemistry, and then I did a master's in applied maths and a PhD in biomaths. So mimi napenda hesabu sana. um, just to give you a brief history, because when I was told by Mr. Nyoro to come talk to you, I felt this is what I wish someone had talked to me when I was your age. Probably seven, I don't know how many years ago. I think I was 17, those were in Form 3. 2007, I was 17. To 2006, I was 16. So you can imagine we are talking about, now I'm 28, so 12 and so years ago, I was where you are seated. I come from backgrounds like most of you. I was born in the village in Nyeri County, and my mom had nothing. Nothing in terms of money, because you see, for you to go to school, we needed money. And for you, you are lucky when I say that, because you can see people are investing. No one invested on me the way Mr. Dongo and the foundation are doing. So you are lucky. Mukombele. Mukombele. So let me just start where I started. I went to primary school, got 235. I failed. For you, you passed. And I'm a doctor now. And as Mr. Githenji had said, that it is what you do that determines your future, but not what really happened to you. I failed and I repeated school. And when I repeated, I made a deliberate decisions. And I always ask young people like you, what decision have you made? What deliberate decision have you made to make your life better? For me, when I got 235 and my mama said, you must go back to school to repeat, I didn't say no, because I respected her and I loved her. And I made a decision to work hard from 235 to 369. That's 134 marks within 1 year. So you can imagine the kind of efforts I had to put. Yes, I totally worked extremely late nights. And that time I realized the importance of just going to school. So make a deliberate decision. I think that is key. And this decision is to work hard. I mean, you are a student. The only job umepewa na mzazi ni kuenda shule kusoma. Ama umeambiwa ukalime huko? So you must make a deliberate decision as a person. No one will make that decision for you. It is you. It is you. This is your time. Make a deliberate decision. And then I went to high school. I didn't hear anyone from my high school. I went to Tumutumu Girls, which is in Karatina. And I got a B+. And I remember that time, I was young like you are. And that is the time most of us, you want to be felt. You want to be dependent. You want to just do the opposite of what you're being told. Do you experience that? And that is the time you want to be in a group, to be appreciated, to be, I don't know how to put it, but it's a stage that you feel you don't want to do what is right because you want to oppose. It's an adolescent stage, and most of you are going through those phases. But from my experience and what I learned is that you have to be with people who are influencing you positively if you really want to manage this stage. This is a time you can get lost, and it is sad. So you must, as much as you've made a deliberate decision to work hard, you must be with people who influence you positively. Because you feel you want friends, which is okay in school. You want to be in groups, but what are you doing in those groups? What stories are you talking about? Are you discussing issues related to schoolwork or issues related to the worldly stuff? You must be with people who speak positive and who really respect your decision. Sometimes you would be told by your friend, hey, twende sijui wapi, let's not go for preps. And because you want to make them happy, unasema sitaenda. For us, we used to go to a place called Bogoini, Kulima, ukikosa kuamka asubuhi. And you see, it's because you didn't say no to your friends. Do you say no? Are you with friends who respect your decision? If your decision is to do what is right, be with those people who can accommodate, who can accommodate. Very important, very key. Another thing I learned, I love maths, but when I was in high school, I remember in my Form 4, when doing my mock, I got a C. That was the first time for me to get a C. And because I started performing well from Form 1, and you see that's failing. And I learned that as much as you want to be successful, you must work for it. You know, most of us have had people who are all of you are in very nice schools, and I'm sure you perform well. But are you in a comfort zone? Umefika? Are you in that zone? Like you think you're going to pass even without working hard? I learned this. It is very important to work hard in all the subjects. Doesn't have to be maths, chemistry, history, whatever. And I'm happy we have Form 3s here. I think you're reading a book by Mr. Henry, Blossoms of Savannah. That book is very, I hope you're not just reading to pass exams. If you read that book, it's very inspiring. And just a small history of that book. It has this man who was in Nakuru, got retrenched. So he's shifting from a good life to, I think, if you have a job, like now if Strathmore decide tomorrow don't come to work, I don't know where I start, So he had to go back to the village in Masai land with 2 girls. And of course, they were going through culture, FGM, and so on. And those 2 girls were very determined to go back to school. One of the girls called Regiane kept telling the father, I must go back to school. I'm not going to get married early, and I'm not going to go for FGM, and no one else will ever. I'm going to do something so that I ensure the people I live with don't go through these cultural practices. And she was so determined. And you remember, if you have read the book, those were in Form 3, there's even the time she almost got raped. And later, she was able to join the university, I think at Egerton, I guess. And that story for me, it's not just a story because it's being done in high school. It speaks something to all of you. If you go through the life of those young children, they were going through a lot of phases, as much as that was culture. For you, probably is lack of basic needs. Probably the foundation might not know what you really need every day, and maybe your guardian was not able to provide. Can you overcome those challenges and come out as a stronger person who is determined to achieve whatever you went to do in school? Very important. Determination is key. Determination is key. Will your parents say, a river without you is like a spring without a source? Will your guardian be so proud of you when you bring results at home? Will the foundation people, when they receive your result, will they say, for sure we made a good decision assisting this kid? Are you determined? How is your future going to be? So that's a few things I learned in high school. And then I went to the university, and I joined Egerton to take a Bachelor of Education Science. So as I said, I'm a teacher, chemistry and mathematics. And when I went there, again, there's freedom, there's nothing, no one to check what you're doing. But again, I knew that for me to make it in life, I must work hard. I knew. There was no shortcut. There was no shortcut. As he had said that the only house in his village was from a teacher. For us, the only student who used to wear shoes were from her teachers and the people who had employed in the police. Actually, even now, I still feel I want to go to the military because I grew knowing this is, I grew wanting to be like those children because their parents would afford. But when I went to the university, and you're so lucky, by the way, you have been exposed. For us, our role models were just people. I'm not saying being a teacher. I'm one of them. But those are the people I'd seen. But now I've learned to see other people, and I admire, and I want to be like them. He has said he went to meet Bill Gates. That would be, for me, a very big thing. He's exposed. He wants to grow. For you have met engineer. Do you want to be like an engineer? Do you want to be like him? Do you want to be like Mr. Nyoro? Do you want to be Like Madam Rosemary here, what do you want to be? You have role models around you. You are so lucky. For us, we just admired people who, I mean, that was the only environment we were raised in. So in the university, I managed to get a first class, and that is the first time someone recognized my efforts and paid for my master's. And for you, someone has already recognized your efforts and is paying for your high school. Can you imagine what you will be 5, 10 years from now? Because of course now your future has this a direction. Because the fact that someone has invested, if you perform well, someone else will come in, and even the foundation will not let you go if you do well, you know? Yeah, you come with good results, and they'll be very proud of you. So I got a master's, and later I finished. And that time I remember I finished within 2 years. It was record time, especially in public university, for you to finish within 2 years in maths. And I was recognized by the vice chancellor, and I went to do a PhD in biomaths. And my area of research has been HIV. Basically, I might not talk about that, but I apply maths in biological processes. So we were trying to find out the most effective control in terms of drugs, and is it effective in terms of helping reducing all the side effects in terms of cost and so many things. And I managed to graduate. But in the process, when I was 20 last year, 2017, I lost my mom. And it was very tragic. I remember we talked with her 9:34. I remember like it's today. It was on a Tuesday. And I was called again by 11:05 the same morning that she's gone. So you see, it's something I was not prepared. And I know most of you probably, you might not have parents. You have guardians. And there's that feeling of like mtu anakufanyia madharau. I don't know whether sometimes it's just in you that someone is doing this because your parent is not there. And they just do things because they love you. They tell you, my child, you have to, even if they're not your real parents, they tell you you're going to do this because this is what I need you to do. And you feel like you don't want to do because you feel if your parent is here, hangesema, bado angekwambia uoshe hizo vyombo. If you go to the shamba, like most of us, you still go. So, I mean, respect your guardians. Don't live in the past. For me, I say, whoever, my mom is gone, it is upon me. Can you imagine if I had not gone to school, how my life would have been? And I ask myself that question. And I know, and I understand the importance of working hard. So that's a brief history of who Purity is. So let me just few points. I feel like Mr. Gedenji just said everything in the 3 statements. But for me, it's more about you as a person, and in terms of education. I've said I love maths, and most of you have a bad attitude. I remember on Saturday, I went to talk to a church group at home in my village in Nyeri, and I asked them, why are you not doing well in maths? And they're like, huyo mwalimu sijui anafanyanga nini akiingia kwa darasa. So I was like, if you don't love your teacher, if you already have an attitude, and huyo mwalimu bado end month atapata you know, it is you who is going to lose. Bad attitude is going to make you fail in whatever you do. It doesn't have to be maths, but maths in general. I've known students have a really bad attitude towards it, and that makes people not to perform well. Please change your attitude. Bad attitude. Please change that. You made a deliberate decision to pass in class 8. You're now in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. Bad attitude towards the subject and toward the teachers is going to make you fail. And that is for sure. If you don't like something, you cannot really work for it, and you will never do well in that subject. So bad attitude. I've given you a story of those 2 girls in the book, and I think I love reading the books the students are reading so that I relate with them. Form 4 this year, they are doing the river and the source. And in that story, there's this lady who, the father had 7 sons, and then he got a daughter, actually in the beginning of the book. And the father didn't like a daughter, he wanted a son. And then later he said a home without a daughter is like a spring without a source. And this girl worked hard and maintained a family. Actually, she's the only one who went through the 5 generation. Do you work hard? Which are your 5 generation? Can you figure out what you want to be in future? Can you see yourself raising a generation? You'll become parents. You've been told you're not being raised here just to pass and build big houses. You need to impact others. Will you impact 5 generations to come? I know most of us who come from family where you're not well up. Of course, you'll have even ile generation iko nyuma yako, you're still holding them. 5 generation. You can only do that if you work hard. And he said work smart. Just decide, this is my time. Yani, soma tu. Aki hakuna kitu ingine. Education is key. Na usiambiwa na mtu education is not important. That's a lie. Education is very important. Education is very important. Just yani, if you pass, you'll become a very, very important person. And it can change everything. You'll meet people. Like he met Bill Gates. Last week, Thursday, I went to talk to Wings to Fly. I met Dr. Mwangi. This is a person for me. I only see him in the newspaper. That time, I met Monica Juma. You greet them and you're like, you don't even know how to greet senior people because for you never expected. But through education, you're able to meet people who are really respected in the society and people who change other people's life, like if you Mr. Dr. Mwangi and so on. So just work hard. Just work hard. Just work hard. Please, just work hard. It's very, very important. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to be successful. Even me, I want to be successful. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants. Do you work for it? It must be earned. As much as success is desired, you must earn it. As much as success is desired, you must earn it. You cannot be successful if you're not working for it. Mr. Nyoro here cannot be successful, even assisting you, if he's not spending sleepless nights looking for ways in which to support you. Everyone must work hard. You must, as much as you desire to be successful, as much as you admire Madam Rosemary here, are you working to be like her? What are you doing? Success must be earned as much as everyone desire to be successful. Very, very important. Someone said, I think, I don't know, one of the speakers here talked about embracing. And the past is gone. Like you don't have a parent. Your parents they don't have much. Embrace that, because you can change what happened, but you can change their life later. And by changing your life, you must embrace all the things that come your way. Embrace them. If it is pain, you like for me, I can't have my mom even if I want. Everyone was celebrating me, and every time people tell me, hey, you're a doctor, and I'm like, you should not be the one telling me, It should be. I would have loved to have a family that time. I didn't have anyone close to me in that graduation place. It was very sad. But I embrace it. I live with that pain, but I don't cry. What I do is that I work hard to ensure I make those people happy. I let go. Personally, I've learned how to let go. Do you let go of things that don't matter to you? Things that you can't change? Can you change where you come from? Can you change your parents? Hata ukitaka kuzaliwa kwetu huwezi, si ndio? Hata ukitaka kuzaliwa kwa engineer, you can't. You cannot, you where you are, because that is where you are destined to be in terms of where you were born. You have to let go those thoughts of I wish, embrace the pain, live with it, change it. Change your future so that if you wanted a good home, like me, I admire beautiful houses for people. But admiring makes me work harder because I want to change. That's the only way I can't live there. I can only be where I come from. But embracing the pain, letting go of things that you can change, is actually very important. Let go. Let go. Let go of things that can't change. Let go of your friends. Yani wale wenye wanakuambia twende sijui wapi, tusifike mapema kwa hiyo meeting, hata sijui tuliambiwa nini kwa shule. Let go. They're not worth you. You're more than what they're telling you. Let go of your toxic behavior. What are those behaviors that you have that you know will make you not to achieve? What are those behavior you have? Kulalalala darasa, kutoenda kanisa, kutokuwa honest. I tell my student honesty is a virtue. Like where I teach, if you don't come to class, you might not do an exam. But I tell them, just tell me what happened, why you didn't attend classes. And, most of them are not very honest. But those who are honest, I even go to the management, tell them, this student need to do exam. They had issues here and there. Be honest. Let go of your toxic behavior that make you not be a good or a morally upright person. And as I mentioned, in this age, you'll come across so many things. You're discovering. You come from probably in the village where even TV is a luxury. Sasa ukifika shule, people are discussing things for you you had not seen. For me, my mom bought a TV, I think, when I was in Form 3. Kulikuwa na black and white. At that time, of course, hakukuwa na electricity then. And from Form 1 to Form 3, I could hear people talking about things I didn't know. But for me, they didn't affect me so much. I know at this age, you might be affected by those things. They're not important. Let go of things that really are not important in your life. Let go. But before you let go, you must analyze them. And that is very key. Analyze your toxic behavior. Toxic behavior are things you think you do that are not right. Because you know what is right. Everyone knows what is right. But we all do things that really, hata wewe ukijiangalia unasema, hapo, si kufanya vizuri. So analyze those toxic behaviors, analyze your friends well, analyze everything, and let go the things you think are not very, very, very important to you. Very, very key. Always give your best. Always give your best. And why is it important? For me, when I went to the university, I would have decided nikae chini, being trained as a teacher. Of course, TSC would still employ me. For us, employment is in terms of the years umekaa nyumbani, the grade you got, and so on. So that's how TSC employ. So there's no match in terms of... But I decided to work hard. I decided to be the best. I knew someone will recognize. I didn't know how, but I could feel it. And everyone used to tell me, hey, we're prof. When you pass, people call you prof. Hata kabla ufike. And I can't wait for 6 years. I was actually discussing with my boss. Actually, he's not discussing. He came to just congratulate me, the vice chancellor. He was like, we need you to be a professor soon. And I'm like, what is the guideline from the Commission of Higher Education? 6 years. And I'm like, oh, that's quite long. I'll be 34 then. But I'll get there. Thank you. I'll get there. Be the best. Be the best. People reward. Even if sometimes people will tell you, hata ukifanya vizuri, no one will see that. Don't listen to that. Be the best. Be the best. In whatever you do, always be the best. Hata if you're in drama, be the best. If you are in debates, be the best. Science Congress, be the best. In maths, be the best. I'm happy someone said, ametoka Kabare. When I went to Kabare my first time for maths contest, it changed me a lot. It was my first time to travel from Nyeri to... nimesahau iko hata wapi? Kirinyaga, yeah. So, when you get to the buses from the school, you don't even know where you're going. But I went to Kabare Girls. And I admired the girls and the people I met there. I actually remember I met one boy who was a student from the Kahai. And he has remained to be my friend. He's a doctor now, a medic. Not a doctor like me, a medic. And we talked. Unajua ile munaongea tu. For me, I wanted to talk, maybe to get someone akunitumia barua. But meeting him, he was a totally different kind of a man, like these boys and girls you have here. Because I remember the first letter he wrote for me was more of the stories we were doing that time, coming to Bath, and he was trying to analyze the questions I'd asked, I wanted to do well in English because I'm poor in languages, I know. And looking back, I feel like when you move out, when you have the opportunity to go, take those opportunity fully, but also analyze the kind of people you meet. I know you want to go mingle with friends. It's very important, but again, you must be very careful, very careful. Very careful. Your parent might not know the kind of letters you have. Me, I have them in a file, and I always tell students why I keep them is because I want to show my daughter the kind of people I met and how they impacted my life positively. I wanted to be a doctor like him, and I didn't become one, and I worked hard, and that is why probably I'm in research in the area of health. And I look back and I see the kind of people you keep, even now, matters a lot. Now I like people who challenge me, who are doing better than me. Like now, I want to be a professor. I can only be with people who are there so that they can hold my hand. Have you noted people who can hold your hands? Are you with people who are changing your life to a better being? Power of confession. Power of confession. What do you want to be? Do you confess it? Huh? Mimi ninataka kuwa professor in 6 years. I want to be one. Do you speak of what you want to be? If you want to be an engineer, do you really tell, mimi nataka kuwa engineer? Because I feel most of us have dreams. And I tell students or everyone, the moment you say, my dream is to become an engineer, it is changes to be a dream and become a vision, a goal, an objective, because you have already spoken it. You're now working towards it. The power of speaking what you want to be. The power of confessing. I think there's so much to the tongue. There's so much to the tongue. The power of speaking what you want to be. Confessing. And wanting to achieve what you confess. Wanting to achieve what you confess. It's not just a dream. It's not just a dream. You're working towards it. And I was reading about one of research by UNEP, and they were talking about how students are doing badly in math, science, technology, and engineering. And now because for you, you're doing sciences and maths. And mostly they were saying girls. I feel even men now, they are relaxing. I don't want to really talk to girls. But science and maths are very important because maths is compulsory. Someone asked me if I want to be a journalist, and I'm happy there'll be someone talking about that. Do I need to pass in maths? And I was like, if you get an E in maths, you not get a good grade. Maths is compulsory. If you get an E in the science, because you have to do 2 sciences, even in your Form 4, you won't get overall good grade. So for me, I feel it's all about the attitude and not really embracing those subjects. So you need to be motivated, this power of confession. And of course, I said be with the people who will change you positively. And the last thing I want to talk about is peer pressure. Peer pressure. Peer pressure. Now, peer pressure, I mentioned when I was giving you a story about my high school life. People can influence you negatively. Kabisa wanaweza kupoteza, by the way. Those friends you think are the best, and you think they are the best because probably ni wao wametoka zile places. You don't want to tell them no. For us, when we were in high school, we used to be with friends watatupatia zile viatu zi atafis. I don't know whether they're still selling, eh? Those are we couldn't afford, so ukienda funky, you wanted to borrow those shoes. And you see, you have to keep them so that next time wakupatie. So if you make a wrong move and pick the wrong ones who will influence you, not positively, negative because of what they're giving you, you get lost. And I've seen people getting lost. People who are very good like you, who have a vision like you have, who are dedicated, who are determined, who want to go to the university like you want to go, but they just mess a little. They just mess a little. And that message probably is not about them. It's a friend they kept. Wakafunga shule, wakasema leo tupitie kwenu, huyo rafiki wakawapeleka place zingine, and your life is changed completely. Yani completely. Peer pressure. Please, just choose your friends well and don't be influenced negatively. Wachana na urafiki wa vitu. You'll get there. Right now, if I want to be dependent, I don't want to be I can stay in, I mean, it will come to that level where you can make solid decisions for yourself. For now, just let your parents be your parents. Make the decisions for you and you supporters. And if they tell you, don't be with that friend, please just let that friend go. It's very, very important. and obey your parents. For me, I think wanting to be with my mother all the time made me this person, this power to what a parent believe and what they say. So let them always wakiongea wanasema yule mtoto wangu. My mom used to tell people, hey, yule mtoto wangu bado anasoma, yule mtoto wangu bado anasoma. So every time I knew I must be in school, mpaka now I don't know what next. I'm like, should I do an MBA to be to go back to school? Because I'm so used to be a student that anything else outside school doesn't really suit me. But what I'm saying, the power of just obeying your parents and obeying the people who are close to you. And I think that's it. That's it. And you can see from nothing to something, from grass to grace. I think you can move from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. There's no limitation. There is no sky. There's no limit. You can break all the glass ceilings that are there. It is you who can only change that. For me, I feel if I look back my first, and most of you who saw my story in the newspaper, in the photos, you saw one of the picture I didn't have shoes. And that picture was key because it was during closing day. So unajua closing day, venye you plan, mtoto wangu anafunga shule. I was in nursery in 1994. And I didn't have shoes. I know my colleagues had. My mom alikuwa na zile sadak and the stockings they used to wear those times. And I look back and I go back to now the number of shoes I can have, even if probably have only 2 pairs. I can, But what I'm saying is that you can change where you come from and you can be whatever you want to be. Whatever you want to be, you can. It is possible. It doesn't matter. Kama kwenu hamna pesa, kama mnalala njaa. I was making a story. I was making fun with my cousin. Akisema he used to visit us. Tunakula ngwashe. He thinks we are eating ngwashe because it's something good. And for us, ngwashe is because that is the only thing that was available. And looking back, now I want to eat gouache because they are healthy. But that time I hated them because we ate them because we didn't have anything else. So it doesn't matter where you come from, your background, your personality, your guardians. Iyo yote should not really hinder you from achieving. The fact that someone is paying your school fees, that is a plus. You can even be better than I am. For us, we have challenges here and there, especially in high school. I managed to get a B+. You can get an A. An A you have worked for, not an A that you have checked from your colleagues. So it's good to work hard. That's why I said as much as you want to be successful, work for it. And if you do that, you'll be whatever you want to be. You can be the Bill Gates of this country. You can be the Alibaba. You can be anything you want to be. I would be very proud to hear doctors from these young girls and boys. Asante sana.